Hello, everyone. I'm Cashy the King. Welcome to the Sports Goombahs. Got my chef to the left, Brendan B.
Back.
He's back. And Mikey the War running the show from my right. We're coming to you live from the 515 studios, buried somewhere deep, deep, deep outside Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. Ranting and beefing sports for the next hour and maybe half hour. Who knows?
Hour and change.
Got a lot of shit to talk about. A lot of action this week. We're live at www.sgshow.net. Give us a call, 267-563-2893. That's the Sports Goombahs hotline. Call us in or text us. If you're shy, text us. If you're not, call us in. 267-563-2893 is the Sports Goombahs hotline. Sports Goombahs is brought to you by Castle Public Adjusters. 215-752-1237. Check them out at www.castlepa.com. What you guys doing? Everybody all right?
I was trying to say that you can also tweet us if you're really shy.
Yeah.
You're really, really shy. You don't have the anytime plan yourself, but you can tweet us at Sports Goombahs.
There's no sense in being shy with our show.
No.
Not at all. You know, if you're shy, get a dog. We got a dog. We got Vic the Yorkie here.
Unfortunately.
Hanging out under the table as usual, doing what he does. You know, she does. Well, he's a she, except when he's Vic.
Question of, will Vic be in attendance February 1st?
Well, no. We're going to see. We're going to have to talk to the Food and Drug Administration.
It's a big no.
I would think the health department would
Frown upon live animals inside of a restaurant.
Cold shit outside all of a sudden. Yeah. We're rocking winter now. Yeah, the big bullshit's coming up. The big storm they're calling for this weekend here in Northeast Carolina.
Love here now. I'm flying out Saturday morning.
Yeah. Well, don't worry about it. They, who knows? You know, if they have no idea. If they figure they might as well throw it up there for the hell of it. I mean, why not? What do they got to lose? You know, weathermen and weather ladies, they get a push. They get a pass every time they make a call. Doesn't really matter.
You know what this weather's good for, though? It's good for bursting some pipes.
That's what. Boom! That's right. What a sales rep I have here. Castle Public, the burnt. Let me tell you something.
My mom leaves the faucet dripping at night now.
I know that's bad. That's because you got a quick tip for me.
Oh,
you get quick tips to prevent claims, which is
But at home, don't do that.
Don't do that. Don't prevent a claim because then you gotta finance this company, finances this show. Without them, we ain't got no show. That's the bottom line. You know. All right.
Well, he's taking a sip, by the way. For the record, I just got the worst whiff of that, by the way.
Worst whiff of what?
I thought you were drinking juice, for the record, because it is
gin and juice.
Not. I thought it was like not.
He was at a rap show last night. He's called Gold Rapper.
The color of it. It used to be coffee. Remember every week was coffee.
This is what we call a Levin. Okay, it becomes.
It's a Jewish last name.
No, it's the name of the drink. It's a Levin. It's a. Without a drink on the air, without a drink on the air, right? It's internet. Yeah.
Well, you can't see what it is.
You're an adult. So
I'm an adult. Yeah, I'm an adult. It's vodka, pineapple with drizzles of cherry juice.
Ew.
What do you mean, ew? You ever drink
What
it?
kind of cherry juice?
It's
that maraschino crap?
No, I go out and I squeeze my own cherries, man.
It's that maraschino
No,
crap.
I gotta go upstairs and say, I squeeze the cherry juice in there. You can see the little shavings in there of cherry. That's how it is.
You muddle your own cherries.
It smells like straight vodka.
Listen, I call it
from this side of the room.
It looks like water, right?
From this side of the room.
It's a little cloudy. You better send it back through.
I dated this girl who used to pump me up with pineapples. Vodka and pineapple. I got so used to them. Everything we did with pineapple. We ate it with pineapple. Breakfast with pineapple.
Everything you did with pineapple.
We did that too with pineapple. There's pineapples everywhere. I got so addicted to pineapples, I threw my vodka in it.
What were you doing with pineapples?
I can go on the website and see what we do with pineapples.
No, I don't want to know it. I'm sorry to ask.
Pineapples are good for the body. It's good for the energy. It's good for the flow, you know? No?
That's disgusting.
Teach old Mikey here, you know?
You don't teach me. I don't need any teaching from you.
I'll tell you at the commercial break.
I just need to not think about you having food relations.
It's called a Levin. It's vodka and pineapple with drizzles of cherry juice, pure cherry juice. Muddled cherry juice. Oh, my microphone here. Technical difficulties already.
And you're surprised by that?
Yeah, I shouldn't be surprised by it at all.
It's a tech whiz.
I don't know what this microphone is. Oh, it's the one I took out the other day. Yeah, whatever. I won't touch it. I won't go near it. I'll just I'll work around. So
speaking of, by the way, I want to throw it out there. February 1st, 8 p.m.
Absolutely.
Steam Pub, Southampton.
Yep, 606 2nd Street Pike. Brought the boys in last night. We did a test run.
Yep.
Last week, I mean.
Yeah. It's all good in the hood over there. Be a good show. Come up there. We got to give it away at Eagles jersey.
Yeah, no, there's a guy there for you.
Yeah, there on the side there. The number 81. He's the best receiver we got, though. He drops a lot of balls. At least he's someone.
He's all we got.
He's the only receiver we got.
That's authentic, in case you're wondering. You want to see the stitching up all up close.
Yeah, that's okay. That's
There you go. Look at that.
Yeah.
Authentic.
Authentic, yeah.
Jordan Matthews.
You put it right on and run it right out into the field with it. Not a problem.
You can probably play.
Yeah, that's
well, yeah, and I know we'll also have a $100 gift card.
That's right.
At the Steam Pub.
We're gonna have a couple tickets to the Philadelphia Flyers right behind the net. Game's actually February 27th. You want to mark it down? You got to be there to collect the ticket. You don't come, you gotta have a chance to get the tickets. 2 tickets.
A lot of pretty solid gifts.
Solid gifts. Yeah, we don't mess around when we have shows.
8 p.m.
That's for sure.
So yeah, so when he chef brought us out the other night and the food.
I told you.
I couldn't stop raving about that burger.
I told you the
That burger was phenomenal.
Yeah. Yep.
Phenomenal.
Phenomenal. You sound like Cashy there for a second.
I did phenomenal.
Give me some cheesesteak spring rolls, baby.
I had the French dip too. I backed that up with a French dip. Yeah, that wasn't bad. That wasn't too bad. I knew I didn't need it. It looked so good on B's plate. I had to eat that.
He stole half my sandwich. He's like, "You want anything?" I asked him, "You want to just give me them spring rolls, B?" So I bring out the spring rolls. I bring myself a sandwich. We sit down. He looks. He goes, "That looks pretty good, B."
I got a problem with food, man. I just nonstop.
But the food was great.
Yeah, that's good. So check
the
it out.
prizes are great. The food are great.
Monday.
I'm sure the drinks are going to be great. We'll be great, of course. So come out and have a great time.
February 1st, 2 weeks from tonight. Boom.
Between the Super Bowl. Speaking of the Super Bowl, there's obviously going to be a Brady or a Manning in the Super Bowl again. And you know what? In the last, I guess it's 10 out of the last 13, 10 out of the last 17 Super Bowls have been a Brady or a Manning.
13 or 17 is a big difference.
No, it's I wrote it down here somewhere.
It's got to be 13.
Yeah, I think it is. Yes, it's 13. It's 13 in the last 7. No, what is it? 10 of the last 13 have been Brady Manning Super Bowls. So there's been one or the other been in the Super Bowl. Mostly Brady, obviously. As he's probably going to end up into his, 7th Super Bowl here? No, 8th.
No, it'll be a 7th.
He's 4 and
2.
4 and 2. Okay, 7th, and then we the 9th for the.
So it'll be 5 and 2 is what you're saying.
Well, it's.
We don't know yet.
Yeah, well,
NFC's got some contenders.
Yeah, we do. They actually do. I mean, what a weekend of football games to watch. I mean, you saw everything. And I got a problem. Am I wrong in the overtime? But if you score 3 in the overtime in playoff,
doesn't end. Okay.
I get a little sick of them trying to change the rules to find an outcome of a football game. Just play the game so that somebody scores. I mean, you have a defense. If you're kicking off, you get a defense. And why you're there? Because you had a good defense. Hold them and don't let them get up the field and let your offense get a punt and you have good field position. Don't say because you're on defense that you have it's a negative chance to win. It isn't.
See, I don't like that. I don't like it. That's like a shootout in hockey. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Just do it like this. Just give an extra quarter. 1 extra quarter.
It is an extra quarter. In the playoffs.
No. Not sudden death.
Football is they don't want them playing that.
But that doesn't matter.
Yeah, but you're going to get a crappy outcome.
No.
I'm
fine with the outcome.
Yeah, but the point is you may be fine with the outcome, but my point is whether you're fine with it or not, you change the game to get an outcome. Same thing in hockey. You change the game to get an outcome. Hockey's ridiculous. I mean, you get that 3-on-3, and the fans, and I was down in the 3-on-3 game, and the fans are going crazy. They love the action, and then you bring the shootout. Everybody's like, in the air, it's right out of everything.
And you see them. They'll all start lining up in the aisle because they know, all right, we know it's going to be over any second now.
It's a team game, and with the 3-on-3, you're still running with the team because you're jumping off lines. With the 1-on-1s, and it can't score anyway. This shootout is inept. These hockey players are on breakaways. They got to go 4 and 5 rounds to get a puck past these guys. We talked about that before. But back to the NFL, I think they just if you're kicking off, you pin them back down. Your kickoff's going to come out to the 20 anyway. The majority of these balls are coming out to the 20. You stop them. You don't give them a first down. You get the ball back. You get field position, right? Yeah. Why should you give them an opportunity to kick a field goal and not win the game? The field goal is points. You get points, you win the game. That's what sudden death's all about, regardless. I don't think they should change it. I mean, you got a good field goal kicker, then you have a better chance of winning the game. That's why you got there, because you had a good field goal kicker. Don't take away some of the power you had as a team. You're a bad defensive team. You should have been in the playoffs anyway. Your coin flip is the coin flip.
I don't agree with that.
Then why flip the coin? Just give each team an opportunity to score. You start from the 20, you go.
I don't like the sudden death. I never like the sudden death.
I never did.
No, me neither. I mean, what playoffs?
Yeah,
we had to have sudden death in playoffs. How do you got to have the team move on?
No, we literally just said how the way they have it now is not sudden death.
Right? Yeah, I like. What part do you like? It not sudden death?
I don't like sudden death.
Okay, well, I disagree with that.
He just confused me.
Yeah.
No, I'm saying.
What do you like?
Do you like it or do you not like it?
I don't. I like sudden death sudden death. I don't like sudden death. If you score 3, you don't win. You got to.
Okay, my rebuttal was I do not like sudden death. How do you
Why
get
not?
confused
Why
by this?
not?
Because all you do is if the kickoff doesn't go to the back of the end zone. Now you can get the ball and go 30 yards, kick a field goal, and it's over. That's it. Your season's over because you lost. Exactly, your season's over because you lost a coin flip and you couldn't stop a team going 30, 40 yards.
Yeah, okay, you couldn't stop a team going 34 yards.
30, 40 yards is not half the field.
It doesn't matter. If it was a regular game and you're 3 and out, you're okay, 3 and out, we're done. Because it's overtime, 3 and out is inevitable. You're not going to get that. No one can stop a team 3 and out.
I know you don't like it. It's no different than playing sudden death because you can play sudden death for half an hour and nobody scores.
And how often in NFL history have they had 2 and 3 overtimes? 6 maybe in the history of the league, going back mainly in the 70s when they had that. San Diego, Miami went 3 overtimes. That was the one game we went. How often does that happen?
I don't mind that drama. I like that. Yeah. I think it brings height to the game. I don't like the sudden death part. I like the fact that, okay, play an extra 15 minutes of time or whatever the quarter is. Treat it like it's the end of the first half or the second half where you get like X amount of
better. Winner take off at the end of the quarter.
The end of the quarter.
Right.
If you're still tied, I don't care.
Well, you said no, why not? You're a professional.
This isn't my argument. I'm saying it's the league's argument. They don't want them playing that long.
What, in the playoffs?
And in general, it's too long.
Well,
it's already, they said the violence of the game as it is.
Oh, well, wait, okay. Well, you're getting a different. That's what I'm
talking about. That's why they don't want you playing another 15 minutes.
No.
See, I don't.
The way it is now is fine. Because that way, if you want to puss out, just play for a field goal for the win. It's not the win anymore.
But that's not pushing out. If you were to 2
How's it not pushing out? How many times have you seen a team get to the 35 and just stop running offensive plays?
That's the game.
They're trying to fall in the middle of the field.
That's what the game gives you.
You're talking about you want it to be a real life game. That's not a real life game. Real life game, you'll just fall at 35 and go, well, we're done.
No, you do whatever you have to do to score. If you want to stop at the 30-yard and kick a field goal, you would do it at the end of the football game. It was regular season game, and it's the end of the game.
This is the end of the football game. This is the beginning of overtime. There's still 15
minutes.
No,
sudden death. As soon as you score, you win. That's the way it was, and it wasn't hurting anybody before they made the changes.
It was hurting a lot of people. Everyone hated it because all you had to do was lose a coin flip, and you just lost. Your whole season came down basically to a coin flip.
No, you didn't have to just lose. If you stopped them after the kickoff,
I could have won the coin flip, and I could have done it, and it would have been just as fine. But again, exactly the coin flip, which apparently is being botched year after year after year. I don't know how you can mess up a coin flip, but the coin flip is costing you your season. Well, then you shouldn't flip the coin. What you should do, what they should do is bag the coin flip and say, A starts at the 20-yard line. And if you don't make it down there, the other team takes over and you win it like that. But if you score from that 20, you win the game. But you're saying he has to get a touchdown. No field goals back. So you're taking a part of the game, which you can win a game with 10 field goals. You're taking a part of the game out of the picture on overtime. No, because you can still kick a field goal, stop them, and win. Okay, so it's okay once you get to 3 if you stop the other team, but in the beginning, doesn't matter if you stop them first. If you can't because they won the coin toss. Yes, the game shouldn't end because you can go 40 yards, kick a field goal, and another team never saw the ball. Yes, I do think that's stupid. It's weak. It's a weak ending. Yeah. I agree with that. Since 10 years ago? Since 20 years? Since 30? What happened? How come in the 70s and 80s? 30 years ago, I wasn't alive. So I'm just saying, why change the game? Why change the outcome of the game on the rules? Just make it the way it's supposed to be. Just because someone's been doing that forever doesn't mean it's the right way. Look at Andy Reid. Look at everything in the world. Okay, you know what? Soon we'll be having baseball games with 9 innings, and then you bring out your home run hitters, and everybody hits a home run derby. That's never even been. That's not even remotely close to being. What's the difference between that and a hockey shootout? No, baseball they keep playing. I understand that, but say that. Oh, we don't want the players playing. You're saying what if? We're talking about what they're doing, not what if. Yeah. But I'm just saying, every year the NFL throws new rules. Back to field goal up. Overtime is in the playoffs, and now you don't get the 3. Every year they change different things. I mean, to me, you would figure they want a game to go longer because more commercial time, more money being developed in there. But if you're saying they don't want to go because the players don't want to play an whole extra period and that kind of stuff. We're just saying, what would be the right way to let them play the extra period? That would be the proper way to do it. Will they not let them do it? No, they won't. Probably because of what Mike said. Mike's other solution would be if you scored a touchdown, you win. If you go for 3, the other team has a chance to respond. Flat out college rules. Just line up at the 25. So what happens? So So when I'm not sure of this rule. So say the team goes down and kicks a field goal.
The other
For
team
what,
gets the
college?
pro football. Kicks the field goal. The other team comes back, and they kick a field goal.
Then
Now,
it's sudden death.
then it's sudden death,
Yeah.
no matter what.
Yes, no matter what.
Okay, so it's the first set of points is what the deal is there. In both the overtime.
If you kick a field goal, I come down, kick a field goal, we keep playing. If I don't get nothing, you win. If I score a touchdown, I win.
Is that regular season
That's
too?
how it is. Yeah, that's how it is now. Yeah.
So the it's exactly the same as the regular season right now.
Yeah. So you just can't end in a tie.
But the regular season goes
can.
the end of that period. It's a tie.
Yes, you can't do it in 5
But
seconds.
obviously, yeah.
So nothing's changed for
You
the
know,
playoffs.
it doesn't happen that often. You know what I mean? For it to be such a how many times we haven't had a tie this year, right? No ties at all. No. I think there was one yet last year. I think that one tie that happened. They went the whole quarter. Minnesota Vikings, I think maybe this year or the year before. It's been once since that rule was in effect. I don't know. I'm a purist. Play the game for what it is. You know, you score, you win. That's the way it's always been. You know, it's kick a field goal, kick a field goal. You don't want to lose, block the fucking field goal. You know what I mean? That's it. Block it.
Say that's not the way the game has always been played. The old game has always been played on the clock, and I think the clock is the biggest factor in football, right?
What's
Clock
that?
management. That's what The clock has been the biggest thing in football since you're playing the team. You're not only playing the other team, you're playing against the clock. What you can do in the amount of time allotted, correct?
And by the way, there was a tie game last year, Bengals-Panthers, where I'm saying where the team came down, kicked the field goal, the other team came down, kicked the field goal, and they just never scored again. And ended the tie.
Big waste of a quarter. Just a waste of energy. Everything else involved in that game.
But anyway, I don't know why we're talking about this as long as we've been talking about this. Let's talk about the fact that before we get anywhere else, Eagles have a coach now. First time we've been here since they had a coach.
Dougy Reed. Dougy Reed, the new coach. This is the same guy who participated yesterday in the debacle 2 minutes of Andy Reid's, say I did it again. I mean, Andy Reid's 2 minutes yesterday in that Patriot game was a microcosm of the entire career he had with Philadelphia when it came down to the clock. How do you coach? What's he, 16 years in the league? And you still can't run a clock? How hard is it? And he comes back and he has an excuse saying, well, we wanted to give New England a chance to run 3 and out so we get the ball back. We're getting an onside kick and still have – he left that game with timeouts. How do you do that? It's the last game of the season. You can't leave it with timeouts. And he's throwing these dinks and dunks around the field. They're not getting out of bounds. He's not using his timeout.
Everything was centered to field again.
Yeah, it's almost like he looked what you call it? Alex, the quarterback.
Alex Smith.
Alex Smith looked like McNabb sitting out there, and he had that look on his face too. Like
what am I doing?
He looked at him
Why
like
am I throwing this here?
Yeah, exactly.
What did it remind you of? What game? The Tampa Bay game?
Yeah, exactly. Well, no, more than just the Tampa Bay game.
Yeah.
It was that was the game.
It was probably every playoff game they weren't successful in.
He can't win playoff games.
Not from behind.
Not from behind. And the year they went to the Super Bowl, they beat a Minnesota Vikings that wasn't that good, and they took care of Mike Vick. But what was good, he was better than those coaches of both those teams at the time. When he comes against a better coach, a better mastermind at football, he's done deal. It happens to him every year. No more, Belichick knew he was going to win this game. You might have to blow him out, win by 7. Patriots don't care how much they beat you by, as long as they beat you. They won 2 Super Bowls. 2 Super Bowls by field goals. Do they care how they won it?
No.
They don't come back and say, we didn't kick that field goal. We wouldn't have won. No, they won the football game, and that's what they do. Now, Patriots are dangerous, more dangerous than ever. I don't know how Edelman comes back from what he did and be able to play like that. And what's funny was in the first, if you watch the game, in the first quarter, he dropped a couple passes. Brady was barking at him. I'm like, you gotta be kidding me. The he's got a broken foot or had a broken foot, came back, this was his game.
Matter.
And Brady's like, you can't drop down passes. Guy ends up catching 10 passes, 130 yards or something like that in that ballpark. Edelman's the toughest guy in football by far. Anybody for his size.
Should be a hockey player.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely.
As long as Ben Roethlisberger's breathing.
Yeah, that's not a good point, man. I gotta give you that. That guy, he's like the
He's Steve Austin,
he's
the bionic man.
Schwarzenegger. He's a robot, man.
He doesn't just play through injuries where you can play through. He plays through things where you should be able to throw a football with a separate shoulder. This is the kind of injury he plays through.
He's got like 4 fingers tied together. He's throwing like this, back of the ball. The thing, I feel bad about him 20 years from now. He's going to be one of those football players that's completely broken down. Scar tissue all over the place.
He's going to be in concussion, too.
Yeah, and they better come up with something for him quick because he's the type of guy, not quite Bradshaw, but Bradshaw's lucky. He's maintaining himself for the most part.
He took a lot of hits,
too.
Now I think about it. How the hell did he?
Well, Bradshaw
just knocked his hair off. That's it.
You listen to him sometimes. It's a little shaky. Harry Long's always picking him apart. Look at him. Too many hits. Tyreek over there. But yeah, those are good football games. I mean, it's funny how after the first half of the Seattle game, people were on Facebook and Twitter saying it's going to be fixed. They're going to come back. I'm like, no, it's not. They're getting blown away. I actually didn't think Seattle was going to come back. I didn't think
to come back relatively somewhat.
A little bit, yeah, score some foot, but I didn't think Carolina was going to shut it down.
It's just your natural instinct. When you're winning by that much, you just stop.
You gotta be careful, man. Ask Andy Reid; he knows.
Yeah. Oh, I know. But they're better than Reid's Chiefs were.
Yeah, well, far better. Yeah. These two games coming are great. I mean, Manning and Brady. I mean, all your life is Manning and Brady when it comes to sports.
Luckily, I like the two.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I'd hate football.
There is no other rivalry, and even the Magic Bird didn't go as long as this.
There might not be a team rivalry better
it's not a team rivalry.
No, I'm saying there may not be a team rivalry better than the personal rivalry of Manning and Brady.
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean,
it's like Red Sox Yankees.
Right, Bird and Magic were always on the Celtics and Lakers. They played for different teams. And I can't think of anybody, going back to before our time, Chamberlain and Russell, but even they played for different teams at different points when they went up against each other. But these two, even though they play for different teams, you're right. It's almost like when you watch Denver, you're watching the Colts. It's the same offense. It's the same everything. It's the whole deal is the same. It's just a different city. As long as Manning's in there, when he goes up line of scrimmage, you're watching the same team.
He's his own coach.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, and he don't play that well. We were talking about before the show. He's not playing good, but it doesn't matter.
Because he's not as elite as
he's football. Cam Newton. Win something first before you're leader, right? I want to hear about Cam Newton until he hoisted that trophy over his head. If he does this year, I'll give him the elite status. He did it. He went to a 15-1 season. He hoisted the cup.
MVP. He deserved it.
He deserves it.
He deserves it. If he gets there, he deserves it.
You want to be elite, you got to put the trophy in your hand and lift it up in the air. Other than that, shut up. Don't be dancing around yet until it's time. Then we'll put his picture right back here underneath the sports Goombah. Cam Newton's going right here. Okay? Next to who's your other guy you like?
I don't know who else I like. Bieber.
Bieber. We should make a bet why I gotta hang Bieber up on the back of this.
He should be there anyway.
Oh yeah, right. The show down the tubes, man. End of story. No backing, no nothing. Even the Castle Public Adjustment would pull off if they saw Bieber hanging up in the back of there. We're done deal.
He's money.
We'll be out in the street doing this thing on a manhole. As
I was saying,
I like that girl on Saturday Night Live who does him.
No.
I don't know.
Kate.
Oh man, when he does
she's phenomenal.
The Calvin Klein commercial is the best.
She is a national treasure. She is just perfect in every way.
The eyes, when she does a B-Rock, it's the best. What was one of the last week? I was watching he was playing the drums or something like that. It was a Calvin Klein. It was really good. It almost looks like him sitting there.
Mm-hmm.
A weirdo. All right, back to Doug Peterson. We want to say anything, or we just want to wait to see what happens here? I don't know.
Do you like it?
I don't like. I don't know if I like it or don't like. I don't like the Eagles. I don't like the way they think they can flim-flam this thing and then go and tell us that Ron Jaworski made the pick for them. Like it wasn't their first pick anyway. Yet Big Ron said, "Oh, this is the guy. This is going to be the quarterback." It's almost like they threw him out to say, "Oh yeah, since we love Ron Jaworski, if he made the pick, that means that Lurie and Rosenuts must have did a good job." But quite frankly, I think that they blew everything away. They had no idea what they're doing. And what they had to do was go to Jaworski. Hey, help us out here. We got to do something here. We lost the first guy we wanted, which I think is the Giants' offensive coach. McAdoo's who they wanted first. They had a list of 20. Five people came in.
4 got interviewed, right? This is the thing that bothers me. You show this whole list of everything. And I don't understand why McDermott doesn't even get an interview. That's one. I mean, I don't think
you don't want McDermott. They don't want him. They don't want him.
No,
it had nothing to do with it.
There must have been something there during that last year that he got fired.
With Howie Roseman or something.
Howie Roseman. He's the man. He's your head football operation guy here. This is the guy who's making decisions. Except now Jaworski seems to be making some decisions here or telling him what to do. And they throw Bill Polian's name in the press too. Oh yeah, we spoke to Bill Polian too. So they're throwing out all the names to help to make the fan base say, oh well, at least you're getting the right people. It's not Howie, Rosenut's making the call. That kind of stuff. They think we're stupid. They think the Eagle fans are stupid.
I don't want to be quick to judge Peterson right now because he may be the next Belichick for all we know. I don't think it's gonna happen. But let's just think about something. Let's really sit down and think about something. We just hired the offensive coordinator. A team who last year threw 0 touchdown passes to receivers. That's an NFL record. That's an NFL record. That's never been done. So we decided that's our guy.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
That's our offensive
I said to
coordinator.
you last week that he has no track record of success anywhere. I mean, I wanted a guy who at least is assistant coach, but his team went to the Super Bowl. And they say, well, Ian,
I know that, but you get way ahead of yourself. Like that, you can't just. It's not okay. You want a Super Bowl? I'll take the ball boy from that team.
No.
You want all the only thing you care about in life is if you won a Super Bowl, I need someone from that team.
No,
You
that's
can
not
be successful outside of that. You do realize that.
No, I do. But what I'm talking about in the NFL, if I have an assistant coach who had a taste of what it's like to be in that position or to get a crew that got there, you know, when you go back to Andy Reid, Andy Reid was under quarterbacks coach. Yeah, but he's got a ring. He was Brett Favre. They won the Super Bowl. He's been to that spot. He knows what it's like to be at that spot. And you can't get that.
Okay, but so was it? You make fun of him. You make fun of him 10 minutes ago how he's awful. But now you're saying, oh, he's a leader, he's a champion.
Wait,
do you like him or not? Like, what do you want?
Wait, first, no. Andy Reid, I'm saying the reason they took him, and he had a pedigree behind him. He had a reason.
Okay, but at the end of the day, that was an awful hiring, apparently, right? Because he didn't win anything.
No, Andy Reid wasn't awful hiring.
According to you, if you don't win Super Bowls, you're a loser.
No, that's not true, man.
That is
No,
so
it's
true.
not true. You're just throwing that.
That's what you said.
No, I didn't say it. Tell me where I said that.
Well,
Where did I say that? I did not say that. That's absolutely wrong. Okay, Andy Reid, his problem was he was enabled to have 4 maybe Super Bowls in his hand, but he screwed it up each time. Each championship game before that he lost. Okay, he screwed up on his own.
So all that Super Bowl knowledge he acquired in Green Bay obviously didn't translate.
It didn't. Exactly what. He was a bust. He was a bust when it came to that. But when hiring him, at least he had something behind him to say, okay, you're working with Brett Favre and being on the Packers and in that West Coast development, maybe. With Doug Peterson, what has he done? Like you just said, last year the team was terrible. This year they won what, 11 in a row?
Something like that, yeah.
And they finally get to face a team that's really hard to beat, and they got blown away and they got out-coached again.
Well, they had the worst schedule of football this year, so I think their winning streak was blowing up more than it should have. I agree. That's why.
And that's what I was saying during the streak. I go, okay. And once Andy Reid gets in the limelight, remember 2 years ago, 7-0. Pam Oliver interviewed, or was it Donovan McNabb? Like one of them interviewed him on Fox, and after that, everything went downhill for him. Yep. He made the playoffs. Last year, same thing. This year, same thing. 11 in a row, 10 in a row. Andy Reid's a talk of the town. Once he becomes talk of the town, forget about it. He loses it. It's the same thing when he wins.
I agree that I obviously because the guys I wanted were McDaniels and Patricia from New England.
Sure.
So I'm agreeing with you the same point, the same thing of I want somebody who's been there, but it's not like if you haven't been there, I don't have nothing to do it to.
My thing is, smart teams win football games. Belichick's a smart coach. He has smart players. They know they're smart. They're thinking man players. That's what they do. They're not just about the talent. They get it done. All the cheating shit bullshit. I don't want to hear about that number. That team, I don't care if they cheat or what. This was good. It's been a good football team for 13 years. Okay, even if you're cheating.
You agree?
Now, you guys are missing one big point about hiring of Doug Peterson. Is the knuckleheads that actually hired him.
Well, yeah, of course.
Okay. So I don't. When it comes down to this, let me just say
this. You can't be
this.
here unless you bow down to Howie.
Yeah.
No other team even looked at this guy.
Here's
Nobody. Anybody's radar.
I look at it like this. I can't. If you give a monkey a gun and he shoots somebody, do you blame the monkey? You don't. You don't, because look, if you give Doug Peterson control of your team, how can you be mad at him? Because it's the same principle. Do I think he's qualified? Absolutely not. I don't think he's qualified. Maybe as an offensive coordinator, a couple of years, give him another try, blah, 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 all the other stuff. Do I want necessarily somebody that, like Cashy said, that has all the experience? I don't think it's necessary, because everybody's had that person said, you know what? I believe in you. I'm going to give you your shot. And you didn't have experience. I've had that happen. Cashy's had that happen. I'm sure you've had that happen. Mm-hmm. I'm going to give you your shot. Here's the deal. So I don't think that's necessarily. You have to have some knowledge.
Yeah.
But that experience, no. You know what I want more than experience? I want drive. I want that hungry guy.
Not in his. He could be a great coach, probably. No, it's the fact that he's coming to Philadelphia where he played and he wasn't good. It would be like
It's pathetic.
I feel like Desi Relaford coming back to be our new, like a coach, like somebody who wasn't good in Philadelphia. Like at least a guy like when we brought in Sandberg was a Hall of Fame type player. We're not bringing Doug Glanville in to be our new head coach, or along those lines.
He's cheap.
Not bring Matt Geiger to coach the Sixers.
He's cheap. He'll listen to every Roseman has to say, and Lurie, whatever. He's getting his shot to be a head coach. This is a shot for him.
And can we finally retire? Please retire the John Gruden and Bill Cowher time.
It's every year.
Can we just stop?
It's like Christmas.
It's just not
It's every year. Every year after the season ends, Gruden and Cowher come up with and people just like to say it. So it's a cliche every year. At the end,
we gotta ask. What about Gruden? What about Cowher? Like, no. It's not gonna happen.
Funny stuff, man. Well, anyway, it's going to be interesting to see what I'm sure Peterson will bring in names out there. I mean, probably rehash them. Who they
already brought in a new secondary coach, Tim Houck.
He's an ex-Eagle player, right?
I know.
Oh, Tim Houck.
You're gonna start seeing these guys come out of the woodwork now.
Was he an All-Pro? Tim Houck, yeah. Okay.
No, Tim Houck.
I'm not saying All-Pro. Coaches don't have to be All-Pro.
No, Tim Houck was your run-of-the-mill white safety. No, that's what it was. He hit you hard, and that was it. That was the extent of Tim Houck's career.
Now here's a question. I hear a lot of Eagles fans.
He's not been coaching somewhere.
Yeah, I don't know. But you heard a lot of Eagles fans. They're upset, and a lot of them are saying, "I'm giving up. I'm giving up." At some point, are you allowed to give up on your team? Are you? Do you get a pass? I mean, like you do it on TV shows and stuff all the time. Oh, it just took a weird turn on whatever.
With TV shows, they may go away in 2 years. The Eagles aren't going away.
They're not going away. Oh, well, all right. And you got Peterson for 2-3 years. Do you give up? Do you go? You know what? I'm not an Eagles fan for 3 years. Yeah, I'm not either. Yeah. I'm not either. I'm just saying.
I know people who are. I see them on Facebook, just going literally insane.
Oh my tickets! I ain't going no more. This is I had enough of this crap. Lord don't know what he's doing. Roseman's back. He's an idiot. He don't know what he's doing either. They picked this guy, Andy Reid, disciple. What did he do? He learned how. He learned. That's the word.
Disciple,
whatever. Disciple. PH-A-P. What's the difference? You have to PH the same damn thing.
We're from Philly.
You know what I mean? You know what I'm talking about here. I mean, you got to. If he's coming with the teachings of Andy Reid, we're in big trouble. And what the hell did Andy Reid be the one running this team now? Because evidently they went to him, and he must have said, yeah, he's ready to go. He had to ask Reid, is he ready to go? Yeah, Jeff. Yeah.
In what other line of business, like if you run a business and you fire some guy, 2 years from now, are you going to go, hey, man, what do you think about this guy you've been working with? What do you think about him?
Unfortunately, the restaurant industry.
They all come back. Everybody recycles in the restaurant.
Yeah, but you don't go to that person that, hey, I just fired you 2 or 3 years ago, and you ask you for your opinion on this. Hey, what do you think? Like, there's nobody else you could have asked? Somebody you didn't fire?
I would have said to Reid, oh, by the way, how come nobody else is even asking about this guy? How come no one else even thinking? How come he's not even on one show, on one list?
On one rate? Anybody.
Even the NFL.
Even in the CFL, he's not on anybody.
ESPN's like, what? Who? Peterson.
That's the Philly way. We only hire former players and former coach. We don't.
Precisely why there's no Lombardi Trophy in the case, and that's it. And I always tell people, can you picture Laurie and Roseman hoisting the Lombardi Trophy? Can you picture it? I can't.
I can't picture. I don't know how Roseman looks like, so I can't picture that. I have no idea what he looks like.
You don't?
No, he can walk in the room. I have no idea it's Howdy Roseman.
I call him Howdy Doody.
I know you.
Okay, so put his picture up. And
I'm not gonna Google that.
Why not? No.
I'm gonna Google Howdy Doody.
Oh, Google Howdy Roseman then.
Well, I don't need to know what he looks like.
I'm just saying. But if you see,
I don't know. I know.
If you see what he looks like,
he probably doesn't even know what Howdy Doody looks like.
Never guess that.
What, they look like that?
Yeah, I would never guess that.
He looks like a football guy, doesn't he?
Looks like a smart guy.
Yeah, exactly. He looks like a bean counter. That's what he does. He counts beans. He's not a football guy.
I also have no idea who Howdy Doody is. So.
Howdy Doody, the puppet Howdy Doody?
No.
Oh,
I told you. That's why I just told you. He don't know who Howdy Doody is.
Listen, okay, I'll tell you what. Google Howdy Doody.
No, I would not.
Come on,
I told you I'm not doing it.
It was a show on TV.
Yeah, probably in the 50s. I would nothing to do with that.
I'll give you an idea why I call him Howdy Doody.
No.
What's the matter with this guy, man? He's been insubordinate on the show.
I'm not going to do it, Mitch. No, stop.
This is bad, man. We're not going out looking up Howdy Doody.
I don't want that in my history. When I die, I don't want someone going to my laptop saying, "Why was looking up Howdy Doody?"
Yeah. Meanwhile, he's scratching the old Bieber here, right? But that's worse.
Got plenty of Bieber on my computer.
Oh my God.
You say beaver or beaver?
It's the same thing. Beaver, beater, whatever. It's a beater called Justin the Beater.
You need a break.
Yeah, maybe we should.
You had enough. You need a timeout.
I'm beat out.
You need a timeout.
He needs to put a little more pineapple.
Baby!
He's got to put a little more pineapple in there and settle down.
I haven't seen him drink a non-alcoholic drink in so long.
That's the only way I make it through life. Saying I've had it. You turn 53, see what happens to you, brother.
I won't be living like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I was miserable. Miserable like that. Maybe just listen to some Bieber and drink some non-alcoholic drinks. It'll be fine. It'll be my world.
Something like that. Yeah, there you go. Sports Goombahs, Cashy King, Chef Left, Brendan B. We'll take a break. We come back. We're going to have the plays. And then we'll report some more crap. We'll see you back. Man, all kinds of tech problems. I got. Oh, my mic, man. I took to the show. Look how fast I can replace it. Sweat. That's what I want, man. Technical difficulties. Blood's going bad. This will be having slack on it. I don't know. I gotta get a story. I gotta, I'm not going to the show with corrupt shit.
Iron Mike Sharp was only 64. He was young.
What's that?
Iron Mike Sharp was only 64.
I know. A lot of 60 people dying these days, man. Must be something in the coffee. Check. Sports Goombahs, Cashy King. Got my chef to the left, Brendan B. We're rocking the 515 studios. Buried deep here outside Philly, PA. Give us a call if you want to chime in on some of the chaos and commotion that we do here. 267-563-2893. That's 267-563-2893. It is the Sports Goombahs. All right, guys. Time for the pick section. You love this part, right?
So I'm turning the music off or no?
The music's not off?
No.
Is it? Volume's down. Nothing? You still playing?
Tech whiz.
Oh, man.
Yeah, you're good now.
Yeah, it's off.
Can you hear me? Am I on?
Yeah, you're fine.
I'm so good. I can hear myself. Whatever.
Gonna hear
You
some
guys hear me?
plays.
I ain't
You
gonna
want to
hear
hear some
myself.
plays, not the music.
Damn, I get an engineer here, man. I'm gonna lose my mind. I'll get an engineer here soon. I can't take it no more. All right, this is the pick section. Of course, you know this is where we make you a ton of money. Maybe not last week, but usually we do. This pick session is brought to you by Auto Magic Car Care, 215-322-2561. Check them at automagiccarcare.com. They are the #1 auto detailers in the Delaware Valley, bar none. Last week, we were 5-4 last week. I was Bulls on Chicago. I gave you all the Chicago plays, and they're on 11-0 run right now. Gave you Los Angeles too last Monday night was the late game. What I did is jump on Minnesota as my team of the week, which was a mistake. Minnesota lost every game they played this week. And then I threw in a Dallas Star play there too, and that was no good. I'm off to Dow Jones with Dallas Stars. Dow Jones now is creeping up on Chicago. Although I'm scared with them now because they're 11-0. They're gonna lose some hockey games. And this week they're on a run here where, they're going to be playing Nashville, Tennessee, Florida, and St. Louis this week. The 4 games. I don't like that. Maybe the Nashville game. The other games, Tampa Bay, still a high hockey team, and you go into Florida and St. Louis. It's not a good week for Chicago. I don't think this week. So I'm going to have to pull off from this week a little bit. What I do have is, wait to hear this. I'm going to go with the Flyers over Toronto. Watching the Flyers lately, the team is definitely improving. I told you I wanted to see it.
And I told you it was coming.
I still don't like the fact they can't shoot. Okay, and come on. I was at the game Thursday night, Wednesday night. The goals are going like ping pongs. They're hitting off everything. At what point do you clear out the crease in hockey these days? 4 or 5 guys are piled up in front of the goalie. It's a matter of if you can hit the right thing going in.
You know what the problem is? You get a penalty for clearing a crease now.
I don't understand. Can't you just edge a guy out of there, or it's
push him out? But he doesn't have the puck. You can only gain position on him.
I don't know why is the NHL? I said nothing but the NHL changing the rules again. Now here they got replay on certain calls now. Goalie interference can be replayed, and I think there's one other. I don't know what it is, but they're expanding their replay now in hockey to the actual action stuff instead of just goal scoring, that type of thing. Anyway, I like Philadelphia on a later 145 over Toronto tomorrow. Also like Washington Capitals over the 2.5 in Columbus. I love Washington on the road. They're a good hockey team. They're playing well. I just don't like them on the road, but I do like them to score some goals. And I think they'll do that against Columbus. Whether they win or lose that game, they'll get a high-scoring game, but I like to stay on Washington to 2.5. I don't have a number on that one because it's not posted yet. My team this week is going to be Los Angeles. That was Los Angeles.
Kings?
Kings, yeah.
Even Mikey knows that.
Rams?
Hey, we have another sip.
Chargers?
The Kings are my team this week. I got all 4 games this week. I go against Dallas tomorrow. I like them they're going to host Minnesota, host Dallas, Arizona, and San Jose, which might be the tough one, the 4th grade, and that'll be on Sunday. But I like this. You're going to be on a team this week, be on LA. Start with them tomorrow, run them right through. Don't look at the number, just play the game. Can't give you a number for later on in the week, but I will have them posted on the website. And those are my plays. I'll give you what? I'm going to give you 5 NHL plays. Okay? Starting to expand. Too many plays, lose too many ways, but I gotta do what I have to do here. Okay?
They look pretty good though.
Yeah. Like LA all week. Let's get on them. Washington to 2.5. Philadelphia minus the 145 tomorrow. That game may be a high scoring hockey game too, Toronto. I don't like the Toronto defense. They give up a lot of goals. Toronto always gives up goals. They're never good. They're never bad. They're always just hanging. The hockey team for years. I can't remember the last time they were actually good.
They're bad this year.
Yeah.
They're bad.
Yep.
They give up a lot of goals.
Yep. So I like the Flyers in that tomorrow. Mikey, how'd you do this week? How do you look at your picks?
So here's the thing. I went 1-1. The problem for the first part was, and this one I'm not giving out a pick tonight. I'm not giving a pick because last week I wanted to give you guys a play on the show. That's when I gave you Wisconsin plus 1.5. They ended up losing the game. They were winning with like a minute and a half left. They ended up losing by like 6. So they didn't cover. They were getting a 1.5. And that was because I wanted to give something out on the show. I'm not going to force it out this week. So this week, you have to stick around because I waited until I found some I liked. I saw Saturday. Missouri State was getting – they were minus 5.5 against Bradley. Bradley's awful. They beat them by about 21. It was over by halftime. So I won that. I went 1-1 in the week. So now I'm just going to sit back. I'm going to wait for something to come to me, not just try to give something out on the show to force it because otherwise I would have lost. So no plays for you this week right now, but like I said, that's why I got to check out the site. I tweeted out, though, on Saturday. I gave you a prompt. I didn't just throw on the site and quietly leave it there. I tweeted out before the game. Said, this is the game I'm picking. Jump on it. 3 hours later, I put up a screenshot of the final score and said, you're welcome.
You got to watch the site. You got to watch some of these games might change. I mean, even these LA games, if I see something go wrong, I don't like the line or something pulls me off, and you got to check the games. Because I give them out here, you just don't want to, you want to make sure you check up on them. That's important for these.
Check Twitter, check the site.
Check everything. Usually I'll put up on Twitter or even on Facebook. I'll tell you when I'm up on these games before they go off. That's what I like to do. That's our picks. I mean, it's hockey season now. I can't bet the NFL anymore. I can't give it out because I'm so bad at it lately. It's destroying my record. And I've said for years, NFL has never been my forte.
Not the way to earn. Yeah.
No, you can't earn it in the NFL. It's you're giving, you're taking, you're giving, you're taking. I don't know what the line is. You know what the line is with the Patriots game by chance?
No,
It's got to be a 3-pointer, right? Got it. I can't see it being
I can't be better than that. You can go conference championships. You got New England. Yeah, they're both 3. They're both 3.
Yeah, that's it. So they're even
Carolina
game.
number 3. Actually, no, sorry, because New England's on the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. They didn't.
Oh, yeah. So that's why it's 3 then. Yeah, I thought they were at home. I said there's no way it'd be 3.
That's why this can Brady go in there and win in Denver? It's tough for any team to win in Denver, regardless who's playing, who's the quarterback. Just the fact you had to go in there.
Personally, I like New England.
Yeah, me too. I mean, I like
to cover and to win that. These are unofficial picks. I like New England. And the Carolina, that's gonna be a good game.
That's going to be a
That's
really
a game I'm
good
more
game.
interested
Did
in.
Carolina blow them out last game of the season?
No, they didn't play each other.
And they didn't play each other? No. Oh.
No.
That must have been the Seattle game, right? Carolina blew somebody out. Or Arizona got blown out by somebody. Last game of the season, I think it was.
Yeah, Arizona got blown out by Seattle.
Seattle, right? Yeah, that's it. Right. Yeah, it's 2 good games. Well, you got the top 4 teams in the NFL playing each other. Right
Which is the way it should be.
And it doesn't happen too often. It doesn't happen.
But a healthy Steelers team. Does that beat the Broncos?
Yeah,
That's tight.
They didn't have the wide
You
receiver.
took away. I mean, first of all, obviously their number 1 running back. Then their number 2 running back was gone.
Right.
And the top receiver is gone.
Yeah.
That's tough. That's tough for any team. And they have a banged quarterback.
So evidently Brown was hurt.
Yeah.
On the week before, where they were saying the Bengals were saying no, he was faking.
No, the Bengals weren't saying it. Pac-Man Jones.
Yeah, Pac-Man Jones, right? Yeah, we went on TV and said he didn't keep his mouth shut at all. I mean, he was on one of the ESPN show. He was on doing an interview saying, he was like, it was just his fame, big fame. He makes a hit like that, and all of a sudden he gets on TV to talk about it. Although the team lost, not in the playoffs.
He's been plenty famous before that hit. You realize that?
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's had.
It's not just a hit that.
He's been fine a couple times, right?
He's been well known.
Yeah.
For 10 years.
What was his?
It's not like he was a no-name or got a camera in his face.
Where did he start out from? He was in college, like he did something in college.
Well, he was a big name in college. He was a top 5 pick.
Yeah, right.
And the Titans took him first, I believe.
And Pac-Man, we have a name like that, of course.
I expected a big fat lineman when I first saw it because Pac-Man ate everything.
He's gobbling balls up.
Yeah.
Gobbling balls up.
That could be his porn name too. You know what I mean?
The best thing about him is with Pac-Man,
that's why they call him Pac-Man, because he's gobbling balls.
I mean, when you're sitting around doing nicknames, and he goes, Cashy the King, Chef to the left, Mikey the Wall. Where do you sit there and go, no, think about it.
I don't know if you call him Pac-Man and Mikey the Wall first.
Mikey the Wall, Pac-Man, but for the reason why. Cash is king, I'm a chef. You know what? You gobble balls. How about we call you Pac-Man?
He does.
Come on now. I mean,
I don't know.
That's not what I think of.
I don't believe it. I'm sure it's not.
That's not what I think of.
Gobble balls.
When you say gobble balls, I don't think of Pac-Man. That's for damn sure.
Gobbling balls.
But even, I just pointed quick story. I don't know how much you know about Pac-Man Jones. Is like he used to play for the Titans, and he had a big shootout case, and he had suspended. And he missed the whole year.
Yeah.
Who brought him back in the league?
Jerry Jones.
Yeah, that's the
Jerry brought him back.
He's good for football, Jerry Jones. You know that. That's why he's what he is.
He's good for controversy. That's why he's good for selling jerseys.
We're having shitty football teams. That's what he's go for. Next year, he'll have another shitty football team. But he might have Manziel as his quarterback. Who knows?
That would be wonderful.
Yeah.
I would like to spread the wealth a little bit instead of having all the eggs in one basket. But,
I'm reading why his nickname is Pac-Man because he would change direction as fast as the Pac-Man.
Oh, so it goes back to the arcade machine.
Yeah.
Okay, I got you. Well, that makes more
sense.
sense.
I look at goblin balls.
Then why did you bring that up? Who said that?
I speculated. I had no clue why his name was Pac-Man. I'm going to Google it.
What were they balls? Weren't they dots or something? You ate dots in the
game? They were round balls.
Pellets?
Yeah. They were Pac-Man food. They called that thing. I love that game. I actually was addicted to Pac-Man. I worked at a bar.
Now it's alcohol.
I had a bar.
Here comes the bar part.
I worked at a bar. They had a table one. Remember when it was a table?
To sit down where you could drink and eat right there and stuff.
Yeah, before when no one was at the bar, just go out there and shove them quarters in this thing. And it's like the levels. Everybody was about getting levels. Levels. You know what I mean? There
was it Donkey Kong? Donkey Kong was a big one.
That's all that late 70s, early 80s shit.
Ice climbers.
Yeah, that's when arcades were good back then.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys don't know about?
Well, they're not good now because I can go home and play it. Yeah. You guys couldn't do that.
Oh, we were pinball machines.
We had no, he didn't. I had I had a car.
You're not beating FIFA on my 60-inch. You're not beating FIFA. No matter what arcade you want to go to, that's when I play Dance
That's
Revolution.
True. That's true. The games now, they're so much better.
Yeah.
Now, I mean, like, started
The same reason people don't even go to
Atari.
sporting events. People don't even go to events anymore because
I had Odyssey.
watch it at home.
Do you even know what Odyssey was?
Sounds
Yeah, we had Pong.
on a pond.
Yeah,
You still get Pong.
it was worse than Pong. It was like cheaper than Pong.
No, my game was that NHL 94, 95
Sega.
Sega. And the
I
football
got that
too.
game too.
And I bought it later on, and like somebody I found it on eBay and bought the whole package and everything. Because we used to have tournaments. We used to come, we had a little cup.
50 years old playing video games?
Well, no, it was yeah,
It was 40.
Yeah, that's
It
not,
was 40.
no, I'm talking back in the day when like back in the late 80s, early 90s. Sega.
Well, the game was the 94 game, so it was not the early 90s.
Well, no, Sega.
I bought it later on in life.
NHL.
So
No,
we're talking like 99.
I think he meant he was later on in life when he bought
NHL
it.
came in 92.
Well, eBay was also not around in 95.
First of all,
Where you bought it from.
No, I'm saying I bought it a few years back.
Yeah, so it was like 10 years ago. Correct?
I can explain everything to this guy.
But am I not right? It was like 10 years ago.
Whatever. My point being is when games are like that, they were fun to play. You turn them on, you play. Now you go on to these, Madden and stuff like that. It's like a whole introduction to the game. They got the national anthem, they got the players, you got to set everything up. Well, who's got time for that? When you become an adult, you don't have 45 minutes to set the game up and another 2 hours
I don't
to play.
play them anymore.
I don't either.
You know why? Because I have a problem. I'm compulsive with that kind of crap.
I can't see myself ever stopping playing video games.
Well, here's the
I
problem. I got that like stupid Stim City on my phone.
SimCity?
Yeah, and like I can't.
You don't know what it is. It's SimCity.
Yeah. Well,
One of
that's
the most famous games in the world.
Yeah, but like
It's Stim City
Yeah,
thing.
yeah,
Okay, so
thing.
I bought my first Apple IIc. I bought my first Apple in 1982, and the only thing it came with was SimCity. That's all.
Really?
That
Came with it?
Came with it. Well, they
No, you
gave
got
it.
to pay extra for it. I figured doing it like Solitaire,
No, that was there too. But
Minesweeper.
they gave you the disc. It was the only game that it was a game at the time. You built a city or whatever. I didn't use the computer, but it was something that was cool.
I used to love SimCity.
yeah,
In the
I
90s?
mean that's what I'm like. Are you kidding me? I'm getting hooked on this stupid law. And I remember like when my kids were little.
Games nowadays.
When my kids were little, they were like 7, 10 years old, somewhere around in there, and we got them the Nintendo Xbox or Nintendo Cube or whatever for Christmas, whatever it was. And the kids came out. I remember coming home from work. They'd have popcorn set up, and they'd be like, "Here,
Dad would
play."
get off the system.
No, play here, play. I'm like, what? They would have that. Was that Resident Evil in there? And it would sit there, and they would eat it like it was a horror movie, and then they would watch the gameplay like that. That was
the last
time I played.
thing I played was the NHL. I guess NHL 2009. That's probably the last video that my daughter had. We were playing it a lot. And that was the controls are like every finger has something to do on these things. Back in the Sega days, you had 3 buttons. Man.
Yeah, thumb and a joystick.
That's it, man. And you enjoy the play. You can play a whole game in 20 minutes. Here, it's 2 hours later. We're in the third period. With 20 minutes.
That's your fault. I don't know what. I've never had a game last that long. They take like 20 minutes.
Not us, man. We played a full 20-minute period.
Well, that's your fault.
That's the game.
What the hell?
That's the game.
Nobody does that.
Nobody plays the game by the rules. Cashy, come on.
That's an hour for one game. You can play it. What do you want? Oh my God, dude, the lots behind the things you say.
Well, here's the funny thing.
This game is taking forever.
You actually take the appropriate
It
amount of
didn't
time
take
between
so long to start
intermissions.
That's the whole thing. I'm not saying
You
play
just
an
said
hour
you played
game.
20
Yeah, like you take everything I say literally. Everything I say is literary.
Say everything literally. Maybe
I'm
you
sorry.
You guys keep making fun of how far I focus.
Oh no, please don't.
I'll bring 2 more guys in here to do that.
No,
Patronize me like you do.
no.
Jesus Christ, man. The money I pay you guys to be on this show, you're ripping me.
We need to get a coffee again. We need to
He's got to switch to decaf too. He's got to give him some decaf oolong tea or something like that.
Yeah. Anyway, that's our place.
Oh, there were plays in there?
There were.
Yeah, so. Anyway, what's really going on in sports there? There's nothing really exciting except the NFL. I mean, basketball, freaking Sixers are winning basketball games. Well, they're trying to, at least. It's a lot better to watch. Basketball in Philly is getting a little bit better to watch in the past couple of weeks. It's competitive. Okay, there's a lot to be said for that. Still not an NBA fan yet, but, what are you going to do? It's part of sports. But what do they got? 6 wins now?
5.
5 wins. The Lakers still got more games.
Yeah,
right?
they're still like 4 behind the Lakers.
Amazing. You're gonna battle a team for the worst record. That's
Now-
it. But like you said, they're never going to let the Sixers get the first pick in the draft anyway.
Last week we had the abbreviated show because of the national championship. Did you watch the game at all after we all?
Good football.
It was a great game.
Good football.
It was a heartbreaking game myself, obviously, but that was a really good game.
Backdoor cover for everybody.
Backdoor
man.
cover, gotta let that cover.
Yep, absolutely.
I fell asleep. I was so sick last week.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I could barely even talk.
It would have been perfect with the show then.
Those college football games, those national every year, they're good. They've never been hasn't been disappointing.
Nah, the one
time.
what was it, the Notre Dame, Alabama, like
yeah.
50-point blowout. Other than that, yeah, it's usually a really good game.
Good football game. I like the format. I think they should slide a couple more teams in there. I mean, 4 teams. Maybe you should go to 6. You're cutting out a few teams.
Like get 1 and 2 bye.
Well, I don't know. I mean, is
There's
it?
another way to do it.
Yeah, well, so I'm saying the weeks are tough. That's what happens. It's become because it is football. They only play 1 game a week. It's tough to do. 4 is good. I mean, did anybody get left out that should have been there? No, they're pretty much all 4.
The Notre Dame was like the
Yeah, but they were.
team left out.
Temple gave them a run. So how quick could they've been, right? I don't know.
But also obviously the big news in the NFL is we filed through all the months of speculation. There's finally a team going to LA.
Yep.
Rams are going.
Yeah.
Chargers probably too.
And they're going probably 2.
Probably the Chargers.
Chargers too. That's almost definite now.
Yeah.
I know that
Are
they're.
we breaking news here, Cash?
Wait a second. The Chargers as 2 is in.
As well.
They're
Sorry.
picking 2 teams to LA.
Yeah, maybe 3. No, Oakland's staying.
Oakland's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So they're going to pick 2 teams to LA at the same
The
time.
Rams are definitely 100%
Right.
going. The Chargers have the option to go if they want to.
They support
And obviously they want to.
that? LA support 2 football
Well, they're going to share a
teams?
stadium together.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
that's not smart. Is that smart for the NFL? I mean, why would they do that?
They do it in New York.
Well, because New York, the population is different, and the people in New York go to football games. When you're,
They're going to go to the games. They're
They
going to
are,
build
but
a $2 billion stadium.
I understand that they'll go to the games, but we are be able to support 2 teams like they can do it in basketball over there. I don't think it's it's all right.
I think so.
It's a different. I don't know about that.
It's once a week. They'll be able to go.
No,
It's
you're talking 17 games. 7 games each. I'm sorry.
I'm
Or
not a
8
fan
games
of
each.
sharing stadiums,
supposed to
man.
be,
Yeah.
season.
I don't like
Every
that.
week.
And then, so it's going to be,
16
and
games.
that's it. They don't plan on building a second stadium, just 1 stadium for
It's
2
going to be one
teams,
stadium. It's going to be $1 billion stadium in Inglewood.
for 2 teams to play in. Well, it's a different way. I mean,
let's just keep in mind. This is the one main point I've made. We talk about speculation for months here. It's a status symbol thing to go to these games. These celebrities are going to want to go
That's
because it's going to look good.
right. And $1 billion place means we $1 billion places.
Every single agency and every single record group, they all have boxes and suites.
I'm not thinking like that. You're right. And they need 2 teams because there's so many of them. They won't have enough boxes to fulfill everybody's orders. And we got.
So if you couldn't get courtside of the Lakers, you got the you got the Clippers tickets. Where
you got to admit.
Now it's like, you can't get the who's the more. Who will be the Lakers and who will be the Clippers? Who's the higher ranking team here? Chargers?
I don't know. They're both meteor. Well,
I think because they're like
Rams got the trophy.
closer.
They've been in the same amount of Super Bowls. But they have the.
Yeah, and really though, how many Chargers fans are living in LA right now?
I know. Anywhere.
I mean, we know
you
one.
gotta admit, it's odd to have that situation. 2 teams to come into a city at the same time. I mean, how you got to promote them? How do you separate the promotions? You're right. Who gets top bill there? Yeah. That doesn't seem NFL-ish. You'd think they do 1 in 1 year and slowly move another team up there or something.
And I would never. I mean, as a player, I wouldn't like it ever. Because the one thing about is the home locker room, it's not really your locker room.
Jets and Giants have problems with that a lot, especially
do they have 3 locker rooms? I don't know.
No, they don't.
They have 2.
Yeah, they have 2.
I figured they had the 2 home ones and then a
One
road
away.
game.
They still play together, Jets and Giants still?
Yeah, still play. They play that like.
Now, wouldn't that be? That's a good question. If they're smart, they build their own separate locker rooms, correct?
You figure they had a room, you built.
I don't know. I'm not 100% on that. I just never heard of that.
Yeah, I'm not either. I'm just a question.
Like you're going to have 2 kids. You're going to have you go out. You're not going to buy a 2-bedroom house if you have 4 kids. It's just simple, basic instinct here.
Do players
after the game, you can't leave your stuff behind.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
Players do that. Don't they have like a locker? No, they're not.
They have a locker.
They have a
Yeah,
locker.
but they're open now. They have a little top there. I see the
but
it's like a,
you trust your team. It's like your desk at work. You would leave personal belongings behind, but you wouldn't do that knowing next week the Chargers are going to be here. That'll be Phil Rivers.
Yeah, Phil Rivers rummaging through your junk.
Yeah,
Come on.
that's what I'm saying. It's gonna be a weird. I wouldn't like it personally, but then again,
It would make
it's gonna be
for
such a nice stadium. I mean, all these new ones.
all the pictures. You see the pictures
it
of
would be
it?
in
It
LA.
looks
Yeah.
gorgeous.
And LA feels like
Pictures
they
look gorgeous.
need
That's
two
really
football teams in there, not just one for everybody to support. I guess that I don't know. I mean, if
Well, they obviously don't need to because the Chargers are. It's an option.
there's no other city they can send the Chargers to. The guy sends to LA.
I don't
Nobody
think
else-
Chargers.
Well,
will
the
go anywhere else.
Chargers don't want to go anywhere. They want their own. They want a brand new stadium in San
It's not
Diego,
gonna happen.
and it's
Yeah,
not.
I
They're
think
telling them it's not
I
going to
heard
happen.
some sort about San Antonio. I'm stepping up, maybe trying to put a football team there, and that's a city that they can support it. San Antonio, I mean, it's sort of
They have an
Portuguese.
old stadium though.
Yeah.
The Alamo Dome, that thing's old.
Well, they could build something. You know,
Yeah, they could, yeah.
You know, it doesn't
But I'm
take
saying, but that puts you so far in years in the
$1 billion stadium. That trumps Jerry Jones.
Mm.
Got to put a second floor on his spaceship. You know?
There would not be $1 billion stadium in San Antonio.
No.
You'll get one
No,
for- I
I'm
know.
saying Jerry Jones has the
Yeah.
stadium right now. I mean, that's his is the it's Jerry World. You know, who's going to own these teams? Who owns the trying to think,
I don't know.
anybody?
Well, Kroenke, I guess, still owns
Yeah.
the team.
Yeah.
He's just moving it. I guess it'll be I don't know who the owner of the Chargers, but it'll be the same guy, I'm assuming.
Chargers singly owned. I don't know if they were or not. I don't know.
I
much
think
about
that.
it.
I
I don't hear
don't
much
know.
of Chargers. They don't make the news. They don't make anything. You know?
I know.
It's
One
like
of my
a
friends is Big Harry from the fantasy league.
Charger
Commissioner.
fan.
He's a Chargers fan.
It happens, you know.
You know what? And I said
They've
that.
been in Super Bowls. I mean, you know, it's very, you know.
Well, I said to him, I said, how the hell did you become a Chargers fan?
Super
At
Bowl.
such a young, he goes, not even that. They had cool uniforms.
Dan
When
Fouts.
he was a kid. When he was a kid. Because he's only 21. He's only 20. I don't even know if he's 20.
Chargers had good football teams throughout the 70s and 80s. They had good teams. They had good players. They just had rotten coaches. You know,
That's
they couldn't
true.
Get,
That is
get, them,
true.
get them to spots. And they had one of the best quarterbacks ever.
Their
It's
owner
fat.
is Alex Spanos, who is all right. Let me phrase for this time being. It's Alex Spanos. He was born in 1923,
Old dude.
so he's probably not going to be the owner much longer. It'll probably be his son,
Yeah.
Alex Spanos Jr. will probably be the owner soon.
Is there an Alex Spanos Jr.?
I don't know.
Oh.
But this guy is 92. I mean, he's owner for now. So it could temporarily, I don't know. He may not even make it to LA.
When's it supposed to start? I mean, a couple years from now, right?
Like 2 years.
They're going to build that
Well,
thing.
no. Well, no, they're already. I think they're already like officially LA. Like they are. They're like,
Oh, they're gonna be there. Yeah, next year.
Where they
they're
play?
not going to be in the stadium though.
Where the where's the
Coliseum?
Chargers? Where the Chargers playing? Because that's all they tiled. Is the last home
San
game
Diego
for
they
Phillip
play.
Rivers. Remember, they were making a big stink out of
We
it.
got to find this out.
Yeah,
The
this
only
is a good
play, the only
question.
play they have is the Coliseum or College Stadium out there.
We need Big Harry to call in because he probably
The
knows
Rose
all
Bowl.
that stuff.
They're going to play
That's
the
what I
Rose
said.
Bowl.
Yeah.
They have to play Coliseum. I don't think is even put together anymore.
Where
Isn't the Rose Bowl played in
USC plays?
that they played the Coliseum like the Los Angeles
Maybe
Coliseum?
it's the Rose Bowl. I'm thinking of the same thing.
Yeah, I mean that's concrete benches.
Yeah, I know.
It's all Raider-esque still. They left down there. Well, Raiders have been back to Oakland for 13 years already since they did that 7-year stint of the LA Raiders for
Yeah.
a while. When Davis lost his mind there.
You guys can talk about time. I'm so curious where's it going to play. Actually, now I mentioned it.
Because
Did you
yeah,
say-
I specifically remember
There's
them
no way
making
the
a
stadium's
big
ready.
deal. I know it's not going to be ready.
It
But
just
that-
broke ground this year, this month, January of 2016.
So
It's going to be $2.66 billion.
That's a nice stadium, man.
It's going to be a nice stadium.
Oh, yeah, some nice soft
And of course,
chairs
what they
there.
call it, the City of Champions Stadium.
Is that what they're calling
And
it?
of course,
City of
smog
Champions.
assholes in
Yeah.
LA.
What champions? What's the champions? Oh, hockey and
Lakers.
basketball.
Yeah.
That's it. Not football. When's the last Super Bowl LA won? They haven't. As Rams, they did. We consider that as a team Super Bowl win, but in LA, they never won a Super Bowl. They only appeared 1979 was the only Super Bowl they appeared in. Who's that? Who's that quarterback? That guy came out 1 year wonder. Forget his name.
guy with the big ears.
I forget his name.
I know who you're talking about.
1979. He put the Steelers beat the shit out of him.
What the hell was it?
Yeah, they're playing at the Coliseum.
I knew. I remember them saying that this could possibly be the last game. Blah blah
Place in the
blah.
rat hole.
Next to the rat hole.
It is a rat hole. Coliseum. Falls and start. They still have concrete bleachers up there at the top. I
The
don't know if
stadium,
it's-
the stadium's not going to be ready until 2019, actually.
Okay,
Oh,
so,
wow.
yeah, so they'll be doing.
That's some time.
Is Tragic Johnson involved in that?
Yeah, he's got season tickets.
He's
already got season tickets.
That's the whole point I'm saying. It's gonna be a status thing.
Yeah.
You don't think every Kardashian is gonna have season tickets?
They're banging half of the team anyway, right?
Here comes the WWE, man.
Oh, well, no, they're basketball players. They like the basketball. They're done with they had Reggie Bush. It ruined them. He's the reason why the knees are bad on Reggie Bush.
I can't wait till she has Bieber's baby. Oh, it's gonna be great. The one of the
for someone named Bieber, you talk about him.
No, I just like to see. I like to see the negative of him, man. I want to see him go down.
What's the negative about him?
Yeah,
is it a child that's negative?
He's not the child anymore.
Because he has a child.
He didn't have a child yet, does he? Bieber has a child.
You just said you want to see him have a child.
I didn't have one yet. But I'm saying.
So I'm saying, so if he had a child, how's that negative?
This Jenner fuck, she's going to get pregnant with his kids, so you can grab his money too.
It isn't the Jenner. It's the other one.
No, it's a Jenner.
It was the older one that was dating the what's his name, that Scott Disick.
It's a Jenner. It's not a Kardashian.
I thought he was sleeping out with the other one.
Nah, he was sleeping with himself, man. This one's I don't know.
I could have swore I saw him.
It's a Jenner, goddammit.
I don't know if it's a Jenner.
It's got breasts too. It's a real Jenner. It walks forward. I'm talking Kardashians and Biebers on my show. I should be shot, man.
You're the one that said you would never bring it up again. You said you yelled at us for like 3 weeks ago for bringing it up.
We've been Bieber beefing back and forth here the whole show. God damn it. But you pay attention, man.
My main beef is.
We're on the beef now?
Last week, you played a beautiful little outro of David Bowie. And I had no problem with David Bowie.
Golden years.
So afterwards, I started looking up some David Bowie things to see who this guy was. Like I know who he is. I've heard his name. I didn't know him in his prime. And everything he is wearing makeup. He's wearing girls' outfits. He's wearing onesies. Okay, but he's the man. Justin Bieber doesn't do any of these things.
Who said Justin Bieber doesn't wear makeup?
When have you ever seen Justin Bieber wear girls' eyeliner? Wear girls' eyeliner, dresses, and look the way that David Bowie looked. So that's my question to you.
If you
defend yourself.
Defend myself is back when David Bowie was David Bowie. Number one, we talked about Ziggy.
Which incarnation of David Bowie?
Right. That's the thing. His whole idea was
he reinvented himself.
Right. That's what he does. That's and the makeup and stuff was. I mean, everybody wore makeup back then. I mean, you took a band like Kiss. They dressed up.
So you're telling me that this is fine. If Bieber did this, you'd have no problem.
Well, if Bieber did that, no problem. Okay. Bowie's so talented with the music, he trumps everything that he does.
Okay. So we're just going to go off the fact that it's old school.
It's good. Listen, I don't care what these people look like. I could care less what Mick Jagger wore on stage, where his nuts were hanging out, or he had makeup on, or he was wearing a dress. The music is the music. Whether I don't have to see the music to enjoy it. David Bowie music it's second to none, really. His songs are what he does. And just like many other guys back in the 70s and 80s, the dressing up, the makeup was part of what made rock and roll what it is.
Look at Alice Cooper.
Alice Cooper had fingernails, nail polish,
Freddie Mercury, he didn't care. He didn't care. Like, I think he was leaning but I don't care what their orientation was. It didn't matter.
I don't know if he's gay or straight or not. I'm saying the way he's dressing is something you would ridicule. It was where the common man would be ridiculed for wearing that.
Not if I don't know.
Every common man would be probably ridiculed. I'm saying that.
You can't.
There's a different status for celebrity.
If I came in dressed like that right now for this show, like I walked through this door and you saw me dressed like that, you'd be like, "Okay,
that's a bad analogy. You're not an artist. You're not performing. You're not paying to see. You're not part of.
But my point is, what he was wearing,
is
something that would be ridiculed. Correct.
Not in the realm of what he's doing it for. And on stage. On stage.
Here's the thing. When you went, you're missing the point of it because you're taking it, I'm going to say, almost out of context. You're looking at a picture and you're not getting the whole story of the picture. You're talking about if you're performing. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. Which picture you're looking at? Ziggy Stardust, or is it?
It's in a dress. He's wearing a woman's jumpsuit.
So and that's the point. That is probably from a concept album, which was very popular in the late 60s.
He didn't go out in public like that. He didn't go to dinner with the family or dinner the night shows or something like that. That was his gig.
That's just like
it makes me sick to even say Bieber and Bowie together, because talent-wise, it's not even it's a myth. Okay, it's almost stupid to say these two performers in the same breath because there's never will Justin Bieber be in the same category as David Bowie to the day he dies, regardless, whatever he sings or tries to do. So to compare the two, whether what they wear, what they don't wear, makes no sense here right now.
It's like looking at Lady Gaga now and seeing the outfit she wears, how over the top it is in this day and age.
And she got ridiculed for when she wore that.
By who?
By everyone when she wore a meat costume.
It wasn't, but it was.
She
part
does
of
her
act.
stuff to make statements. It's part of her act. I understand
Madonna
that.
did it all the time too. She was outrageous with that
She
stuff.
wore like chinois caps on her boobs and with propellers. You can do that.
Ozzy Osbourne bit animals' heads off during his gigs.
Only once.
Okay, once was enough.
Once wasn't bad. It was bad. Yeah, then everybody got on him. But the whole point being is it doesn't. Yeah, another one that's alive. That probably shouldn't be.
Yeah,
he'll
live us both.
But the whole point of in that context, I understand that. I have no problem with that. They were artists expressing themselves at the time, you know. And if you look at one picture now, are there some Bieber songs that are good? Cashy will tell you no.
I don't say, you know what? I don't listen to them. I can't. It's not my type of music. Maybe it's in your generation, your youth, or whatever.
Many
a 28-year-old guy likes that kind of music.
Look, I'm sorry that none of these, Bieber may not be 00 smooth, but
hey,
he's
but
still
00
good.
smooth. This is the next up-and-coming rapper in Philadelphia. Keep your ears open for this guy. He got backed by the sports Goombahs. Okay.
But
00 smooth.
he might not say. He might not say.
I was about him. Bringing him up.
I'm telling you.
I went to that beef concert yesterday, man, downtown at the Voltage
It was
Lounge.
a beef concert?
It was a beef concert. It was all beefed up. No, it was it was one of those. You ever been to the Voltage Lounge down?
No.
It's like it's like a second grade act place, where guys come in there and they do
It's a second grade.
Second tier.
Second tier, I meant. Yeah,
Okay.
it's like you come in there and they pay you per. Much like we're going to do, they pay you pay-per-view. You bring in a crowd, you get a piece of the gate or whatever.
That's how most places
are. Yeah,
are.
right. And it's that kind of place. It's almost like you can walk in there and you can have a open mic night too. They have that kind of stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's a nice little restaurant too. The food was really good. So it wasn't. It's like next to
Not as good as Steam.
No.
Okay. I'm not. Point being is that we might be out of later. So who knows? Anyway, the hell was I talking about? Oh yeah. Whatever. What
Bieber.
Bieber. Yeah, we're back to Bieber again.
Well, we actually did get a tweet. Somebody said that they're both gay, but Bieber is the less gay of the two. That's a real life tweet we got.
Well, that's okay. That's why more of your boys, man, for sure.
Here's the point. It's all about what you like. Because we've asked Mike, no, I don't like that stuff. It's old. I won't watch
it. Here's the thing.
And I understand that. I can agree with that. It's what is with
the same way
times.
he says,
exactly.
It's new. I don't like it.
It's new. I don't like it. He does it, and that's fine. Whereas the bridge in between you two, I guess. I mean, I like new stuff, old stuff.
Seem to be.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. It's every generation is going to have a huge gap in it for music, culture, all that
like
stuff.
4 generations between us.
Here's the thing,
or just one big.
Forget about what he looks like. My point here is the music, the songs. I'm just saying in general. When you say this Bieber stuff, to me, my whole thing about Bieber was that I didn't like from the beginning all the chaos, the bullshit, that kind of stuff. Him being what he was on TV, all that shit. I don't like that stuff. That's just me. I thought the kid was a punk. Still think he's a punk, all right? That's how I feel about him. His music I don't listen to because it's not my kind of music. It's not what I listen to. Mm-hmm. But when you sit here and you compare it to David Bowie, which is a generation of music, he goes from the 70s, 80s, 90s to the 2000s of still producing music.
Up until he died. I mean, that last video came out on his birthday. His birthday.
That's right. And so it's like he's in the category with the Mick Jaggers and the Pete Townsends and Eric Claptons and all those guys and Bruce Springsteen. These are all the icons of music from the 70s and 80s.
And I think here's the most important part of this. Every so often somebody comes by and revolutionizes something, or changes it, or changes their perception of what you did. Has Bieber done that?
No.
I don't. Here's the thing. I don't think so.
What is he?
I don't know enough.
What is his
exactly?
thing?
I don't know enough about him. But
you know enough about him. Believe me.
Give him 60 years like these old farts that he listens to.
And that was the point I was getting to.
He won't be in music in 60 years.
I know he won't, but there's not enough money to know and get out.
That's okay. I don't care.
He won't be trapped. But he won't be forcing reunion concerts for our 5th annual retirement reunion concert.
You don't know
Yeah,
that.
I don't know.
Because
You don't know what's going
they
to
don't
be bad
make-
for this kid.
Here's the thing: you don't make money off of records anymore.
Right.
You make them off of. You don't make them off of iTunes. You
Well,
make them off of touring.
He's making it off something.
Here's
It's
the
not
thing:
touring.
he's going to have to. Well, what, like any other star, he's going to have to manage his money right because the teeny boppers that like him now are fading away as he gets older and his music gets worse. Okay, so he's not. He's
I'm
going
not saying it's worse. I'm just saying
worse.
Well, okay, back to the whole trend. He was a
Remember
trendsetter. People who trend set is what I was saying. He changed. Bowie changed it, whereas people thought differently about. Example being Madonna and Lady Gaga and other people.
He allowed the stars to be like that to show that
he laid a format down. Now, Bieber's still what? 23?
21.
21.
He's
He's 21. 21 years old. He's
a
rehab
thug.
twice, or
He's
not,
a
I'm not
thug
sure.
now.
But okay.
He's not a problem.
Yeah, not yet. So I'm just saying he's been in music 6 years as opposed to 6.
Call it that.
It's funny.
And I'm saying in that. So the body of much of like we argue with sports, it's your career, your embodiment of your career that gets you recognized as one of the greatest in your fields. And he was one of the greatest in his field. There's no arguing that. I'm not taking anything away from Bieber because I can't yet. You know why? Because it's like a 6-year-old kid. He hasn't done that much yet. And maybe he will. Maybe Bieber turns around and becomes somebody awesome down the line.
That's what I was going to say. Two things I wanted to get in real quick was one of the things you said he's been on for 6 years. I just pulled up the Bieber thing. The song Baby, your favorite song that you love talking about so much, came out January 18th, 2010. It's been 6 years to the day. So he's been around for 6 exact years. My point being, and like I said, that's the one song you make fun of. And you always say, because, all right, he was 15 years old.
Listen,
what do we talk about?
That's the song. That's the
and-
song I made fun of. Okay, that's the joke.
But he's
of the
a
whole
huge
thing.
full-grown adult now,
Doing what?
putting out much
Put
more
shit music out.
adult music.
Adult music.
And
The
also, again,
music's
he's
crap.
20. He's not. You know, obviously, listen to it. He's 21 years old. I'm sure at 21 years old, we were also laughing at Justin Timberlake for his curly head. Now, Justin Timberlake is like an icon in every form of media. Give Bieber some time.
That's where I was going with that.
So you're making a very good argument.
I'm making a very good
Bieber was-
argument.
Bieber
You're
was-
talking like, okay, hold on here. I'm not saying he's going to be great. I don't know. I can't. You judge somebody by the body of his work, and that's what you always said for Hall of Fame, the greatest that ever was.
Yeah.
And you can go back and you can compare like ticket sale. You can't even compare dollars. You have to compare like ticket sales. How many concerts has Bieber sold out compared to Bowie at that time? You know that you got to look at. There's no way to look at it.
You said the word compare to these two guys. Should be allowed to say compare when you talk these two guys in the
My
same
point
room.
being, you can't compare yet because the
First
body of
all,
work
it's-
isn't even
first
there.
of all, Bieber and
It's like it's like
first of all, Bieber and all the artists, all the music
Would you-
people, wait, listen, the people, all these people now in music will be playing a heck of a lot more concerts than they did back then because albums don't sell unless you hit the road. And it's even starting to sell an album after you hit the road. So you can't compare. It's just like, and in sports, just like this, it's a different era, okay, where you know, back in the day, you had to go out on concert because that's how you sold
Still
the
do.
album. Now you have to sell the album. You gotta try. No, what I'm saying is you can go out on concert and do a tour and then sell your album. Now you don't have the album to sell anymore because people are stealing it off the internet and there's no more albums to
you
sell.
downloaded it.
They're downloaded. Yeah, but it's different now. I mean, the concerts, you got to have the concert. You got to get out there. It's the only way you're going to earn.
Yep.
You didn't have to go on concert. You know, there's a ton of bands. Like the band like Pink Floyd hardly ever toured back in the day. Early on they did, but no, in the 80s, they the Wall toured, and 10 years later, they didn't have to.
Walter, because they broke up, though.
But that's
a
what my
bad
point being
argument.
is
That's a bad-
the bands didn't have to tour a lot. They didn't have to do it. They only had to do it if they, one, had new stuff coming out,
And they wanted to push it.
and they wanted to push it. Now you push it on.
And
the
it
internet.
wasn't them so much as it was the record companies wanting you to do it.
Yeah, exactly.
The time of touring the bands was the 90s.
Completely, yeah.
The stadiums, the arena tours, and all that stuff. But
Listen, it was a whole, like,
whole different culture.
Yeah,
You're talking
I mean-
a whole different culture now, where live shows were what bands were known. Like, and I'm not a fan. I'm not a fan of Bruce Springsteen. He was okay.
Yeah, me too. I'm not a fan of this.
But everybody I know sits there and goes, you might pay like $80 for a ticket to Bruce Springsteen.
80.
Or whatever it is.
That must be
I don't
20.
even, I don't know. But you get your money's worth.
Yeah.
Because the older guys realize that you're going there to put on a show.
That's right.
This is where your money's coming
That's
from,
exactly
and you give back what you got, and that's
and you get a guy like Bowie going on tour. He can't even do all his stuff. You know, you're gonna get disappointed that you're not gonna hear certain stuff. Like I used to go to Who concerts all the time, and they didn't play half the songs I wanted because they didn't have time to do it. On like Bruce Springsteen, I never seen a Springsteen concert. I like some of the songs, not a lot of it, but he plays everything. He don't leave till he's done.
He plays 4 freaking hours.
You know, he gives
There's no opening act.
And that's what makes him so popular is that he gives you pay your 150, 200, 300, 400, maybe $1,000 to sit up front, but he's going to give you the best he has out there. Some bands don't do that.
Yeah.
They come out there, they throw a bunch of songs at you, and they hit the road and say, "See you later, nice talking to you." You know, a lot of the bands do that now. It's like, you know, the bands are still sticking around. The ones that did, like Aerosmith, another band like that. When they play, they play.
Well, you never saw Deep Purple.
I saw Deep Purple.
You did? Oh, that was my first concert, and they played for 3.5 hours. Bad Company opened for them at the Spectrum.
Yeah.
Awesome show, man.
You know who Bad Company is?
No idea.
Yeah.
Deep Purple.
It was Deep Purple.
You know.
Smoke on the water.
You got it.
No, come on, man. He's on Bieber's eyes. He's all focused on Bieber. What are you the guy?
My whole point of this is you wouldn't compare Russell Wilson to like Peyton or Brady. You wouldn't, because one is at the beginning of his career, the two are at the end. You can't compare them. You might be able to compare the first 2 years of their career, but that's about it. You know what I mean?
Like anything else, you know, I understand that. You know, Bowie in his deathbed was better than Bieber. Okay.
Well, that's preference too. That's a whole bunch of preference.
He was going to be here in May, so I may just have to go.
You may just have to go, huh?
I may have to go.
I mean, I'll go with you, man.
No, I wouldn't.
No, I'll pay my treat.
I do not want to go with you now. Even at the expense of you
I'll
paying
give
for
the
it.
Goombah limo the tickets there, all right? Make it real good.
The Goombah limo is just your car.
Bring the wife. Justin Bieber. You get him on the show, and then we'll talk.
No, I wouldn't even.
You wouldn't subject them.
No, even if he tweeted me and said, "Well, Ballpark, I really want to get on the show." I'm like, "No, Cashy wouldn't like, I'll just rip you."
I would let him. I can't have him in here. I can't have him in here. I can't do it. Can't do it. Close the show down. The end of the history. Done. End of the story. We're done. There's no more. There's no more to it.
He acts like people give him the time of day.
No, he wouldn't give.
I wouldn't let him on.
He's right. I wouldn't give him.
I
wouldn't let him give me. You would know.
You'd be starstruck.
I tell you right now, I would not be. I'm not like that. I wouldn't give a shit if he stand in front of me right now. Wouldn't give a shit. What would he do for me standing in front of me? I want to kick him.
No, you'd be like, "Oh,
Mr.
Bieber.
Get the frick out of here.
Mr. Bieber.
Hey, yo, Vic.
I all of a sudden you sound like a black actor from the 30s.
Yeah,
Mr. Bieber.
Yeah, what is that,
fan?
Yeah, right. I go, Rock, yo, Vic, get him out of here. Pee on his foot or something. Wait, I'm not a star. I couldn't give a shit about star guys, except for me and you and us guys. We're the stars. Everybody else is second, third.
Yeah. We've had some stars. We've had some stars on the show before.
Yeah, we've had minor, but good stars.
Minor.
And some people think they're stars.
That's true as well.
Yeah, so what are you going to do? Well, anyway, let's get right to the real important part of the show, which we all care about.
That's true.
Shut him up. Get him to talk some real stuff with us.
You're giving him a mic, man.
I told him I'm not going to be here next week. I got to get it on tonight.
Oh, yeah.
The next time you see this face, it's going to be live and in person.
Let's
It's be February 1st.
Let's figure out where his replacement's going to be next week.
Hey, if you can find somebody to fill these shoes,
no.
fill these moccasins, then good luck. Yes, it is time again, of course, for the Wall Report. I'll start things off with something a little risque for you, Cash. I don't know how you're going to feel about this.
Yes, you do. You know exactly how to feel about it.
No, I'm kidding. But you'll probably know what I'm talking about here. WWE Hall of Fame diva Tammy Sunny Sitch, who promoted Sunny.
Sunny, yeah.
Remember you promoted Sunny from WWE Cash or no?
Back to WCW days.
Sunny, what's her name?
Sunny. You know
Sunny, the blonde-haired girl.
She's the first ever diva.
Yeah, I remember. She was in that Golden Globe, right? The Golden Girls in Globe.
I know you're talking about.
Remember that? The women's wrestling?
Well, she's a WWE Hall of Famer, but she no longer wants to be anymore. I get where that she's probably she's fallen on hard times. Which, by the way, I found out she lives in Allentown now.
Yeah.
Like, we should get her on the show. Tammy, come on, join us.
Oh, that's your job. Go ahead.
There you go.
Bring her in here. Put her over here.
She wants to sell her Hall of Fame ring for WWE, and she got an offer. She has one offer out there for it for $100,000.
That's nothing. For WWE.
Yeah. Well, consider last week we had Mark Rippon, who was selling his ring. He was selling for $15,000 Super Bowl ring. So $100,000 for this ring. The person who's making that offer, that'd be Vivid Video owner Steve Hirsch. He said, "I will buy this ring for $100,000. Oh, ... You also have to do a 90-minute film for me."
Absolutely. What'd you expect?
I
Throw another $100,000 on top of that. And she has to talk.
yeah, she's a little older now, but
How old?
probably in her mid-40s.
Beautiful, milfish.
She would probably be right up your alley, by the way. She's very active on Twitter if you want to follow her.
Hook me up.
So I mean, I'm a young guy. I mean, when I was younger, she was the bee's knees, so they say. So, nice to see that.
Kevin Sullivan, that's right.
She wasn't with Cousins.
Trained by Kevin Sullivan,
She was
yes.
with Chris Candido, who died.
Chris Candido, yeah, but that was the whole stable. I was trying to figure out what WCW crowd was from. Yeah.
Anyway, a little follow-up on a previous wall report here. Notation. Got a couple follow-ups. One of them being Lawrence Phillips. We've been talking about him for a while.
Wait, he fuck up.
He's dead now.
Yeah.
Yeah, possible suicide. They found him dead in his jail cell. His family's claiming it's not suicide, and he was murdered by police or somebody because he was in high spirits. But sad note for a guy we've been chronologizing his fuck-ups for the past year or so. So R.I.P. Larry Phillips. I don't know if you saw this video. Tony Stewart, the NASCAR driver. Very rare I'll dip in a NASCAR, but Tony Stewart is back at it again. Always fighting with people and killing drivers, as he's currently being sued for. He went into the stands over the weekend, last week or so. Went into the stands to pick a fight with a fan who was heckling him. He shoved him, called the fan a pussy, told him he's gay. He said, "I know you're gay. I can tell you're gay." Multiple times on camera. Ron Artest was banned from basketball for this. Tony Stewart will probably not be banned from NASCAR. But your thoughts on this is if you get heckled, especially if you're in the spotlight, you have to expect to get heckled no matter what. I'm not even in any spotlight. If I get heckled on a daily basis, I feel like I'd be completely fine with that.
It's
like you have to learn to take it. Like really, because some guy is heckling you and
did LeBron have something this week too, where he was walking off the court? Somebody said he stopped to turn back and look at the fan. It was a couple days ago.
I saw a picture.
Yeah, he was like somebody said something, cursed him or something like that. And he stopped.
I saw it last year. I saw
that. That happened this year again, and then.
Well, that's gonna happen all the time.
Yeah, but he has to walk away from that, just like anybody else. I mean, it's part of when you're.
It's one thing to stop and look. It's nothing to go in there and shove the guy to the ground and call him numerous vulgar words.
You just move on, man. It's part of what you. It's part of what you are.
You want the millions. You want the camera in your face.
It's just words, man. You smile. You wave. How you doing? Hey, there's a couple behind your shot.
Exactly. Yeah, I agree with you. Ken, you can always disagree. Ronda Rousey. Little update for her. She's signed to co-star in a film with Tina Fey. There's no name for the movie yet, but basically going to be based off of her catchphrase, the "do nothing bitches." That's what she hates. She hates do nothing bitches. aka the Kardashians.
I'm telling you, this girl's not fighting ever again.
She is. She says she absolutely is. There will be a rematch.
We'll see.
She will definitely fight again. Absolutely.
Hollywood might keep her out of that.
No. So she said this.
Listen, I don't want her to fight. I don't want to mess that face up anymore. You know, it kills me to see her like that.
Yeah, she's fine. She's fine now. Absolutely fine. But yeah, so she's going to be co-starring a film with Tina Fey, where basically Rouse is going to be a camp instructor for pampered rich wives, and Fey will be a pampered rich wife. So I'm sure there'll be a lot of comedic banter between there. So check that out in theaters in the next year or so. Sure, you guys heard this one. Chandler Jones, Patriots star linebacker, showed up at the Foxborough police station last week, shirtless and completely disoriented. It was all over the news. Did you guys hear about this? They said then there were multiple reports he's on synthetic weed, which you're the pothead. So what is synthetic weed? do you know what synthetic weed is?
It's not good.
I have no idea what it is.
I don't know what
bad?
It's bad.
But apparently it's not banned though. Apparently it's not banned.
No idea.
Which is why it's not classified as a drug yet.
Which is why he played obviously like the next week. But apparently he was really messed up.
I know it's the THC, man. That's all. Get over it. Just don't do too much. I know.
I was asking you.
Yeah. What? I got a marijuana sign over my head.
You asked me how I get high. You asked me like,
I asked you how you get high. I get high.
I know you get high.
For medicinal reasons only.
Former Olympic skier, or I guess a skiing legend. The name sounded like it was like Peekaboo Street. So I'm talking about. You remember Peekaboo Street?
Yeah.
I realize how old she is now.
She's like 50.
She's like in her mid-40s, and she looks older than that. She looks awful.
Yeah, I saw her. She was on TV.
All that cold air. All that cold mountain air.
But she got arrested recently for allegedly throwing her 76-year-old father down a flight of stairs.
Get control of that shit.
I mean, they were apparently what happened is he's apparently not all there because he ran his car into her home, so she didn't like that. They started a fight with her. Apparently, he slapped her, so she responded with throwing her elderly father down a flight of stairs.
No, he did. She pulled a papa bottle.
But when I saw the best thing, not the best thing, but the main thing that stuck out to me was because I remember that name was oh, Peak Mystery. That's scary.
Mm-hmm.
And
She
looks like she looks 76.
She's from the 80s, right?
No, it's from like the 90s.
She's been not yet.
The late 90s too.
Really?
I didn't realize late 90s is almost like 20 years ago now.
Yeah.
So she was mid 20s then.
You know, you're right.
mid-40s.
I don't look at it like that.
I never think of that way either.
Jeez.
One of my highlights of growing up as a kid was the baseball season, the '98 season, with the home run, Bond.
OJ Simpson chase.
Well, I was really too young because I didn't know who OJ was at the time. I was too young for me, but like I remember McGuire and versus Sosa, and like now thinking about that, I'm like, damn, that was literally like almost 20 years ago.
How old are you? 28.
28. Yeah.
Holy shit, man!
I know. Sad.
I gotta get back to 28 and do a redo now. Jeez.
Already a father of 10 children, Jets cornerback Antonio Cromartie is now expecting kids number 11 and 12.
All his? All living at home?
Wait, I'll tell you whose kids they are. Despite the fact that he had a vasectomy. Yeah. So apparently it doesn't. It stopped. People say it's,
That was like perfect timing, wasn't it?
You know how people say things stop 99.9%? Well, this must have been the 0.1% because he has a kid now. He has 2 more kids on the way.
They say a better doctor, man.
They say it's an act from God and they're loving it and all that, but I would be a little skeptical of my wife, for the record.
That's on the road. That's all I'm thinking.
I'm on the road for 9 months a year, right. And now you have a kid. I have a vasectomy, so I don't know what happened here. So I don't know how. By the way, those kids he has. It'll be their third and fourth kids. He has 8 kids. Or sorry, he has 7. No, yeah, 8 kids with 7 different women.
Nice.
Before her.
Guy's a worker.
He pays $336,000 a year in child support.
Nice.
Oh, wow.
Man, loves this. You ever see? You don't remember the Hard Knocks when he was on it, and it was the Jets when the Jets were on it.
Yeah.
And he was sitting down and they were asking about his kids, and he's just like, I got Monique, she's 4. I got Terrell, he's 4.
Same age. The same age.
He's like, DeMar is 4. I'm like, Jesus Christ, what did you do in 2002? Like
1 year.
The thing is, he was struggling with names. He's like, I got Bill, and I think he's like 6. Like he had no clue.
I have 5 brothers.
He writes a check. That's what he knows.
I have 5 brothers. I don't think my father messed up any of our names. When he said our names, we were in trouble. So I don't see how you can forget your kids' names.
Because he doesn't live with them. They're like.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
And first of all, their names weren't Bill, David, and Mary. I'm sure it was like Shane Aquarius and Dave Martinez.
Okay, let me ask you
I wouldn't be surprised he hadn't seen a couple. And it was just the checks they're paying.
Yeah, the check. He writes a check to the wife. He probably remembers the girl's name more than he remembers the kid's name. Because she's the one who gets the check, not little DeMarcus.
It's like they're gathering every weekend, B, and they're having lunch together where you can say, okay, hey, here's all the kids in the room. Yeah, I can't.
Canadian junior hockey. They got some hockey here for you. Now, previously in more reports, we've had many stories of refs being just attacked. Usually it's in soccer.
It's a big deal now.
Well, the refs they're fighting back. Canadian junior hockey game between the Kingsville Kings.
Saw that.
By the way, the Kingsville Kings. What a stupid name for a team.
The ref won.
Yeah, the ref did win. Versus the London Lakers that broke into a brawl. Ref breaking it up. I don't know what was happening, but they got a little close. Some word probably said. The ref started swinging. Ref threw a couple punches, got on this kid. Keep in mind, it's a Canadian junior hockey league.
Yeah, young
which
kids,
means that they're 16 to 21.
And the ref's older.
And the ref's taking some swings at it. Team trainer does not like what he's seeing. Runs across the ice. In sneakers, by the way. And he's doing that I don't want to fall run. And he spears the ref.
That's awesome.
Attacking the kid. Or probably, I don't know how. It looked pretty big to me, personally.
But look, like nowadays, professional athletes at 16, 17 years old are 6'2", 200 pounds.
These kids
are
big.
they're not kids. That is not a kid. That is a full grown. That's bigger than me. That is a full grown man.
That's I wouldn't fight the person. I mean, they all because when I saw it, I'm like, okay, this looks like a real professional guy. No, but the main thing was like, oh, it's a junior hockey, it's their kids. Why is the ref punching kids? I'm like, that dude was way bigger than a ref. He was way bigger than a ref. Big scandal now going on in the world of tennis. I think this might be the first. This might be tennis's first mention on the show ever. But world #1 player Novak Djokovic says he was approached in 2007 to throw a match for $200,000.
Nice. Yep. That's what I'm talking about.
He was offended that they even came to him. Obviously, he said he didn't do it, which is why he's the world #1 now. Right. But big news. I mean, we always talk about. There's always speculation about things getting thrown and this and that. And
anytime where it's single play-on-play, you have that opportunity.
Possible, yeah.
It's always
part of a team game. Like if someone pays me to throw a game, I can miss 4 shots in a row and if I'm like out. Done.
It's easy to do it. Some sports easier than others.
But when it's one-on-one, that's why boxing obviously gets that thing, but that's probably what happens all the time.
Yeah.
Let me see here. Oh, okay. Put a little poker story. I'm going all over the map today.
Poker's good.
Poker star Antonio Esfandiari.
Don't know.
Who he actually won the largest pot in World Series poker history. Won $18.3 million in a single tournament.
Yeah, I watched the poker game since the movie Rounders 2 nights ago. I stopped watching poker what was that big run we had in
it was like a 05.
05 with the Moneymaker,
yep.
Those guys,
that's when me and all my friends
that's when they were all I know you guys were playing these games over and in the garage there. I was they had all the characters. They had Moneymaker, Sam whatever his name, and then
Sam Farha.
They all had their characters.
He's old school though.
Yeah, but here's the thing, it was good then because they were characters. Then everybody started filtering in. The guys with the hoods and the hats, they would change the whole game. Those guys all left because
the online kids came.
Well, because they weren't playing by the rules. They had their own different.
They're playing with the
But
rules.
you understand what I'm saying? There's ways of playing. These guys have been playing for years.
The unspoken rules.
The unspoken rules that they played in Vegas for years, and those 2 years on ESPN were really good. And people were watching.
Yeah.
I had friends who were in it. Actually, they actually made it to the table. They were actually.
Oh, one of my
TV.
friends.
Yeah.
He was in a multiple tournaments out there. He won.
Well, he's at the World Series. He was in the actual, the big. He made it to the semifinal table, whatever. It was on TV. But what I'm saying is that was good because there were characters. They all had their own. Now there's 5 guys at a table with glasses and hoods, and nobody's making.
They're all just generic.
There's no tell anymore.
20-somethings.
Right, you can't read a face anymore.
Don't speak even English.
Right. It's a
European
money thing,
countries.
And that's why those guys are gone. They try to do their own little thing by having their off shows on the side. 1-on-1s and 3-on-3s, that type of thing. That didn't work too well.
But anyway, Antonio Esfandiari. He was kicked out of a tournament recently because he pissed in a bottle during the tournament, in the middle of the tournament. Something you obviously can't do. And it's not because there's any kind of rule you can't leave the tournament. You can't leave the table. He was more than allowed to leave. His legs were very sore because he was in the middle. Because you watch the World Series, these guys have like the prop bets on the side with their they love they're gambles. They gamble on everything.
Oh yeah.
So he had a prop bet with another guy where he would the only way he would walk for 2 days was doing lunges. He'd only lunge from place to place. So his legs were just really sore. So he didn't want to get up and take a piss. So he just pulled his junk out at the table and took a piss in a bottle. So I got kicked out.
They got that on video?
No, I don't have it on video. There maybe.
I got the little camera down there for the hands. You figured it
doesn't go that far down. But there's a good note that he did win the prop bet though. So he got us $50,000. Yeah. That's what the prop bet was for.
Covered his entry fee or no?
Probably, yeah. Can't imagine being more than $50,000 for an entry fee. And finally, sad news or happy news if you're a purist of hockey, but NHL All-Star, I'll put in air quotes, John Scott. He was traded to the Canadiens. This is the guy who has 1 point for the year.
They need him in the NHL.
11 points for his entire career. Yeah. And he was voted to the All-Star game as a joke by the fans.
Yep.
He was going to go to the All-Star game, but apparently the NHL approached him separately. And the team, the Coyotes, this is still the Coyotes, right? They approached him and said, like, look, bow out. You shouldn't be here. You know that. He goes, no, I'm not bowing. I'm not doing it. So there's a big rumor, big conspiracy that NHL said, all right, you have to trade him. You have to get rid of this guy so he can't play. Because with the whole divisional All-Star games, that's what it is.
Right.
So he got traded to the Canadiens, who are not in the same division. So he's now not eligible for that All-Star team anymore. He will not play. And
mess with the fans, man.
And the Canadiens have also said they have no intention of calling him up. He will never play for the Canadiens. And so basically his NHL career is over.
1 goal?
With 1 assist. He has 1 point for the
because the fans decided to put him in. Right?
I know that. I'm just saying that I've never heard of the player actually. I mean,
no, he's a 30. I think it's like 34-year-old journeyman. Just floats between AHL and actually hockey.
They vote on the internet.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
That's
fans. That was for whatever reason. That was the guy they chose. This is gonna be our face of let's screw up the All-Star game. They won. They did it. But then at the end, the league still won.
For me,
Lee
you
got
can
it.
get the
Lee
people,
got him
man.
out.
It's just like anything else in this world. The internet allows you to get to everybody, anything you want. You know, bust our #1 ranked candidate for presidency. You know, Numbnuts 2, Numbnuts 3.
And that's what we got for this week's ball report.
All right, good deal. Guys, you're going to be out next week?
I will not be here.
Okay, well, we'll figure something out.
If you get the phone system up, I may check in.
I get the phone system's working fine. I can't get anybody to call. Everybody's tweeting and you know, nobody wants to talk to.
It's easy to call you gay from Twitter. It's, call in.
There's nothing wrong with gay, man.
Well, that's what he said. I'm not saying anything wrong with it.
Gay or gay, it doesn't make a difference. The music's the music, man. It doesn't matter who it's coming from. It's good music, you listen to it. Yeah, I can listen to Bowie. I can listen to Freddie Mercury. I could, you know, Queen. Come on.
We better not.
The name of the band was Queen. You know,
We better not get any kind of snow this weekend. You know, you mentioned when we first
I'll
started.
make sure you get out of town. Believe me.
I'll get out of town. I said, my mom's throwing a fit. I said, don't worry. One way or another, I'm getting out of here. Trust me. There's nothing going to stop me.
Going down to where again?
Tampa.
Nice.
Nice,
Sunny Tampa.
nice 9-day getaway. I'll be back in time for February 1st. Steam Pub, 8 p.m.
2nd Street Bike, baby.
Giving away tickets, gift cards, jerseys.
All kinds of great stuff. We're gonna have fun that night. We're
It's gonna be
definitely
fun.
gonna have. It's gonna be good.
get
Great food, great family. It's gonna be there. Friends. You get
Not
that.
friends.
You can.
Some enemies.
We'll have a microphone set up for you where you can come up and give your own beef out.
Just rip Cashy, please. I'm begging. I'm begging you guys to come up here.
Autograph.
Grab that mic and just rip Cashy.
Yeah.
The way he deserves to be ripped.
I'm Cashy King. I got my chef to the left. Got Mikey the Wall over here, and a you know, a little honorary. We're gonna go out to the Eagles, Glenn Fry, and may he rest in peace and good music, and have a good night. See you next week. You're in trouble for this.
Don't you drop where the diamonds fall. Should be huge.